2, and now we are recording. I think, yes, we are.
Hopefully.
Yeah, with Logan Shrewsbury, who was guest number 15, one of the OGs.
Number 15.
Yeah. Logan was a guest when I think at that time actually, you know what? No, we're going to look this up because
Oh,
I can actually tell you how, not that you give a fuck, Logan, but I'm going to look it up because I can. You were, let's see, you were number 15. So Logan was a guest when I had 48 subscribers. So fucking big
boom.
to get
What's the number now? I want to know.
1,830.
Whew!
Yeah. So this is episode 299. So
Oh, geez.
yeah, you were legitimately one of the OGs. And so for that, I must sincerely thank you.
How long ago was that?
That
I
was
wonder.
February. That was
Yeah.
before COVID even entered the lexicon, man.
Yeah, I remember that.
Yeah, because that was
Good times.
there are several episodes leading up to where it's like, hey, did you hear about this thing called coronavirus? And then it's like people are, conspiracy theorists are freaking out. And then it's like, well, it might be in California. And then it's like, it might be on the East Coast. And it's like, I can't leave my house anymore. And it's like,
Yep.
there's a documentation of it just coming closer. But this was before even that. But yeah. So for everyone listening, Logan came on. Logan went. That was it. STEM.
Yeah.
STEM. Yeah, in Colorado, where there was a shooting that was 2019, correct? So that was
My sophomore year. So,
October 2019.
yeah, I think that was no. I think that was May.
May. I fucked it up.
It was pretty much like it was the last month of school.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. And dude,
I came on like 9 months later.
I have referenced the episode you and I did probably more than any other episode outside of the podcast. Like I worked at a liquor store for a couple of months, and friends would ask me, they're like, well, which episode was what's the funniest? And I'd be like, dude, I had on this kid named Logan.
What's the funniest episode? A kid who was in the shooting.
He was in this shooting.
Wonderful.
He would look at me and be like, what the fuck? And I'd be like, no. Because Logan would take me off guard. And it was like, I remember you said something along the lines of, I was like, well, senior year will be fun. And you were like, yeah, let's go out with a bang. And I was like, what the fuck?
Wait, did I say that?
Yeah, but it was this weird like tiptoeing, because it was like, I don't mind being like an absolutely offensive asshole, but it was also like, this was like a personal conversation. I had 50 subscribers, and this episode 15, and obviously you were there, right? I lost a brother to suicide. I have no problem making suicide jokes, but I don't make them to my parents,
Yeah.
Like, so when I had you on, I remember I was like, I'm just gonna like be sincere. And I remember you and I were texting beforehand, and you were like, it's cool, like it's okay to like make jokes. You're like, that helps me, like, comic relief. That it's a huge thing. Like, dark humor helps people get through dark times. And I remember you were like, it's cool to like make jokes and stuff. So I was like, awesome. And I kind of like I kind of followed your lead. And it was like an hour into the podcast, and we were like loosening up a little more, and you were kind of making jokes about it, just kind of some loose ones. And I was like, okay. And I remember I made a joke, and I don't remember what it was, but I remember you were just staring at me. And then I was like, no one watching this episode has any idea about the text conversation we have. That beforehand, Logan was like, it's okay if you make jokes. So in the episode, I was like, Logan, can you tell everyone that it's okay for me to make jokes? You're like, it's okay for you to make jokes. And I was like, can you go one step further and tell them that you told me beforehand it was okay? You're like, I told them before, because I was like, this is point being. So because I'm socially retarded and told the guys I was working with at the liquor store, of Vinny and Forrest, I was like, yeah, no, like one of the funniest ones I did was this kid in the school shooting. They were like, what the fuck? And I was like, no, hear me out. And I was like, yeah, I remember Logan told me this. And then like, it was around like, I think this summer I texted you, and we were like, we were going to do an episode, and then I probably flaked out. But it was something along the lines of, I was like, man, coronavirus must be like really fucking up the school year. And you were like, I've had worse school years. I was like, fuck. But yeah. So when people ask me, they're like, what was the funniest episode? I'm like, it's a really long story. But what was it, the stand-up comedian you had on? No, 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 no. It was this kid who was in this school shooting. No, don't run away. Like, come back. It's yeah. So
Yeah,
I
that was a good time. As much as it
yeah,
seems messed up, it was
but you have to, right? I mean, you
yeah.
have to. I mean, and I say that personally, having a brother that committed suicide with a gun shooting. You know, I have to make jokes around it because if I don't, it kind of becomes this like it kind of becomes this like taboo that everyone pretends isn't there, but that everyone knows is right there, right? It's like the
Yeah.
800-pound elephant or the elephant in the room, the 800-pound gorilla. No one talks about it, but it's there and it's taking up half the room and it's casting a shadow. And it's, I found for me at least, kind of lean into it. And I thought that's what was badass about you is you were like, yeah, just go for it. And I was like, fuck yeah. And I was like, that was awesome. But yeah, man, how you doing, buddy? How's everything?
I've been doing pretty good. I can go into crowded places again
Yeah.
without feeling uncomfortable.
Well, not really, because COVID.
Well, yeah. or I can when I need to, I can be in more public places without getting super nervous. Though that might just be because they're not as
Sure,
crowded.
sure. What is yeah? So that's what I wanted to ask. Is like I kind of want because when you first came on, it hadn't even been a full year because you came on in like February.
Yeah.
And as you said, the shooting was in May 2019. You came out in February 2020, so it hadn't even been a full year. And I remember asking you things, and you're like, dude, I'm still like unpacking it. But now we're at a year and 7 months, 8 months. How I can't do math.
About a year and a half in now. I think we had the podcast about 9 months after.
Hmm. So, yeah, so I kind of was just, and I like talking to people anyway, but because I have a podcast, I was like, fuck, make an episode out of it. But yeah, I wanted to ask you just, I'm going to stop talking so you can talk because you're an interesting guest. And
Don't worry about it.
yeah, so like what else? So going into crowded spaces, but if I may just be so just blunt about it, like what other things, what other changes, whatever, what other, yeah, take the floor.
I don't know. I'd say. Oh, but by the way, can you hear an echo at all?
Yeah, a little bit.
Because my phone doesn't. A
Hey,
little bit. Yeah, because my phone doesn't fully allow me to turn off my.
let me throw in some AirPods. Some AirPods. Fuck. Sorry for everybody listening. It's my fault. I've jerry rigged stuff before, but I've never done this. So should work in a second. Any second. Are we on? Logan, say something.
Thanks. Yeah. Hello.
Still, fuck. Connect. Just connect. You piece of shit. It says it's connected to. Hold on. I'm sorry for everybody listening.
Technical difficulties.
That's Tommy's AirPods. Okay, say something, Logan.
Hello. I am Logan.
There we go.
Oh, you got it.
Okay, you're coming through my ears now.
Right.
I hope that Zoom is still recording the audio. But hey,
Just open.
here's to hoping. You know what? Maybe this is just a silent film podcast. And I'll put it in black and white, and I'll be like twirling my mustache. It'll be like the 1800s, like oh no, and it's I'll get a lip reader. But
I'd like to see that.
that would be. I mean, as if I couldn't be more irreverent with this subject. It'd be like the first one we were making jokes about Nerf guns. The second one, we had a lip reader come in and do something. Like People are gonna be like, dude, are you just trying to like shit on this subject? And be like, I really am not, I promise. But yeah, so yeah, what other, first, obviously going into public spaces, asterisk coronavirus, but what other things? What, yeah,
I'd say voice crack. I'd say for the most part, most of the problems I had beforehand have generally gone away. I think what generally happens now is I think about death a lot more. 17. Um, I mean it does keep me up at night a little bit, but I'd say generally for the most part I have been doing pretty well. I can't watch as like dark content anymore, like dark shows or
sure,
movies. But I've been doing okay. And it's still a lot better than some of the other people I know.
yeah,
So I've gotten out lucky. And I really think that's it.
yeah, yeah. It's. I was gonna say the. Hold on, are you still getting an echo?
Well, the reason for that is because my phone doesn't allow me to fully turn off. Like since I have my voice coming through here, my phone's
Do
muted. But
Do you want to try to just do FaceTime then? Do you think that would work better?
uh, yeah, sure. If we want to try that out.
Sure. All right. All right. I'll call you. All right.
Technical difficulties.
So,
Okay,
sorry,
okay.
everybody. We'll be back. We'll be back in like a minute. All right.
All right.
Pause. We're back for everybody. Listen, I'll put in like a disclaimer at the beginning. I'll be like, scratch the first couple minutes.
Yeah.
But yeah. So, okay, the one thing I kind of like, I guess, and whenever I bring up like my brother or anything, that's me just trying to relate to like trauma in my life, and it's for anyone just whatever, putting your dog down or something, it's whatever the trauma is. But yeah, there were things that like I kind of had to get used to again. Like I couldn't watch like war movies like Saving Private Ryan whenever there was like a headshot. My brother shot himself in the head. Like it's, those would bother me, and I kind of expose myself to it again and again to sort of bring the tolerance down. And that took, I mean, it's been 6.5 years now. And yeah.
Saving Private Ryan was actually like the one specific one as well.
Yeah.
That was a little much. Yeah. I don't know. I can still play games like that, which I don't know if that's better.
Yeah.
I've been putting in so much time into Cyberpunk. So
is it good?
Yes, the game is good. The launch is terrible, though.
I heard it was glitchy as fuck.
Oh, it is. It's not as much on PC. Like console is especially terrible.
Hold on, sorry. Yeah, no, I heard it was shitty as fuck. But that is weird though, right? Because I could and still do. I can pick up Grand Theft Auto like it's nothing.
Yeah, I mean probably. I think video games have an extra layer of disconnect from reality than film does.
Yeah. We'll circle back around to Cyberpunk. But the one thing you said, think about death a lot more. That's definitely, you're 17. I was 23 when it happened. Yeah, I found that I kind of started looking at every day as this weird transient, like, it was almost like, what's the point? I was like, we're dead tomorrow. And it, was really fun at parties, right? Like, oh my God, let's go play beer pong.
But like, that's pretty much exactly how it felt.
Yeah. So why are we doing anything? Let's go see this movie, and it's like, we're dead tomorrow. And it's like, all right, asshole. Like, but it's also helped me enormously as like time's gone on. Like it's been 6.5 years now. It is now gone from being this terrible thing to this thing that I learned to live with, to a thing that benefited me, to now it's something I wouldn't trade for the world. Now I look at it as this like gift from God that like I can't get sucked in to, and this is going to sound so douchey, but like I sort of can't get sucked into the everyday rat race. Like, I'm physically unable. It's not this thing where it's like, just remember, we're here for a short time. Like, don't get too upset about your boss or something. Like, I am physically unable. It's like my Nintendo 64 cannot connect to the internet. It's not that it has trouble. It physically cannot. I can't get sort of sucked into this world because it's just like, it's all transient. And that's now become a plus for me. But I don't know if you've crossed that threshold.
Yeah, I think that's wrong because I have not. I have not learned yet. So.
Yeah.
And I'm personally not religious, so you can see there's not really another place for me to go after that.
Well,
at least for me.
Yeah. No, and I kind of have become religious again in the last year, but no, for 5 after my brother, no, not at all. So there was no. When I say that, I mean, it wasn't like I'm gonna go to paradise so much as I just believe that, and maybe it does, that existence just stops. To me, I found freedom in that because it was, oh man, you should go ask out that girl, she's perfect for you. Oh no, I'm nervous. Versus you're just like, yeah, it doesn't matter, like we're all gonna fall into the void. So like you just fuck up and you're like, hey, I'm Logan, like but I've done that. Who knows how many, like, hey, I'm Tommy, not interested. Okay. But it's just like, that's a freedom I have now. It's, I mean, I'm 30 years old, dude. Right now I'm in a room above my parents' garage. Like, you don't exactly do that if you're like well balanced and worried about what people think of you. It's obviously easy for me to make light of this. It's been a long time. You're granted much younger than me, but how, if I may, how you said you're not there yet, so it's your constant pondering of death that's having negative effects on you.
I mean, I just haven't really accepted it yet. I don't. This is difficult.
Dude, you can fucking take all the time you want to think, man. It's fine. It's not the evening news. We can just sit here and we can make dick jokes. We can talk about Nerf. We can.
No.
I know. So. I was gonna say, don't you have a wall of Nerf guns?
I haven't used them in a year, but it's there.
Yeah. That's what I love. It's like, does it bother you? You're like, well, I have my whole arsenal, so no, we're Gucci. But it's so. Do you? And I'm by no means a psychiatrist, so just feel free to kick me in the nuts if I'm trying to take a role that I'm not equipped to be in. But okay, if it's not positive, then we can imply that it's negative. Is it that I'm just kind of going to try to reference my own experience. Is it that you have a hard time maybe embarking on things that are a time heavy requirement because it seems like, what's the point? Like, I'm going to pick up a video game today versus like, I'm going to learn the tuba and it's going to take 2 years. And it's like, but what if I'm just dead before then?
I wouldn't say that. I mean, I do have thoughts like, what if I do just die tomorrow? But not. I'd say it's more of a I don't want to die ever sort of thing.
Yeah. Does
that make sense at all?
No, absolutely. Yeah, that existential terror of like, oh, you're not supposed to have brushes with death until you're like old with white hair and a cane, and it's like, here I am, and it's already here.
Exactly.
Yeah. And where's that carefree youth I was promised?
Or like the feeling if I had gone to the bathroom 1 minute earlier.
Yeah. If I had gone to what if I was in Kendrick Castillo's spot? Or, not even, like, what if what if there'd been another shooter? What if it happens again? Like,
yeah, or I guess also the feeling is like, you never think it's going to happen to you, but Kendrick also probably thought that, and
he's
look where that got him.
Yeah.
Oh, well, that sounded really mean.
No, it doesn't, dude. Dude, no, not at all. I mean, okay, dude, my brother was depressed for several years, and I knew he was, and I was like trying to help him passively, but at the same time, it was like, everyone gets depressed. He'll get over it. He's smart. He's doing research at Georgia Tech. He's got a girlfriend. He's good, and look where that got me. Like, it's not a negative thing to say, man. Look where that got me. Like, now it's for everyone that's like, my friend's kind of depressed. I'm like, I have to be like the guy in the wheelchair that comes forward, and it's like, drunk driving can happen to you. Like, I now eat through a tube. Like, I can't feel my feet. And that sounds terrible, but it's like, sometimes you have to have that brush with like brutal reality to be like, oh, okay, I'm going to call an Uber. Right. So whenever my friends are like, yeah, my brother's kind of down, I'm like, hey, look at my face. This is the face of exhaustion. Like, it is real. So that's not a bad thing to say, man. Look where that, yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't think I would ever be able to go to public places again. I think that's insane that you've kind of developed that strength again. I don't think I would ever be able to.
I mean, I think probably what's helped me is, even though I did have like that feeling that, holy crap, I might die today, I don't ever think I was actually in. I mean, I wasn't actually ever in like immediate danger. I never like had the point where I saw my life flash before my eyes. It was more of a, this could happen soon.
Yeah.
It didn't.
Yeah.
Mainly because when I was having those feelings, it was already over. We were just waiting for everyone to bust down the doors and let us out.
Yeah. Fuck.
But I don't necessarily know about a lot of other people. Most of them I can't really ask, because all the people in that room were seniors, so they're graduated.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't know. Yeah, that's all I had.
Yeah. No, dude, it's I mean, I think you were in immediate danger. I think it's like, because you could keep whittling that down to the extremes. If you were one room closer, were you in danger? If you were two rooms closer, if you,
I don't really know.
What I mean is, like, I wouldn't try to like it, in my mind at least. I don't know if this is how you meant it. It kind of seemed like you were almost like belittling yourself. Like, I wasn't even in danger. Is that accurate?
Well, I think to the where most of these like longer lasting effects come from is for the first time having those feelings of I might die. Maybe what helps me calm down is I can think, well, when you were having those feelings, you weren't actually.
Okay.
Like, the points where I was in danger was before I really knew I was in danger.
Sure. Yeah. So, it's like when you're like asleep in a car and the person driving swerves and they avoid like the semi truck. Yeah. It's like by the time you're awake and looking around, things are already over.
Yeah. Actually, that's pretty good. I'm thinking about it.
That'll be $500. Thank you for coming to my practice, Logan. Yeah. You can Venmo me. I don't take insurance. This is a private practice. Yeah. So this meeting is over, and we'll see you in a year, Logan. And yeah, it's fuck. I guess I don't know. Again, I'm trying to like use my own experience to try to like relate to it in any way. I guess I've had guests on here, I've had friends on here be like, I don't know how the fuck you got through like a sibling suicide. Like, I wouldn't be able to make it. And in my mind, I'm like, that's what I thought too. And then you kind of just stumble and keep walking, and you just kind of one day you wake up and you're like, oh, it's been 6.5 years. I guess I made it. Like,
Yeah.
So it's like you probably would make it. It would be brutal. It would be horrifying, but like you'd probably make it.
Yeah. Who knows where I'm going to be in 4 or 5 years?
Yeah.
That's just kind of where I am now.
Has it? If I'm okay, I imagine if I was in your position, I feel like it would be one of two things. I would either go like completely like remove myself from like society, like I wouldn't want to be around anyone, or not to make light of it, but like I would stay strapped. I would have like a concealed carry permit, and like I wouldn't go to the grocery store without something on my hip.
I don't know. I'm usually able to like still go out and do what I would do if it didn't happen. Like I don't ever really think that it affects my actions. It more just affects how I'm feeling at a given moment.
Mm-hmm.
Whether I'm nervous or just looking around, but like I can still go place. I mean, I guess there is still once again the mentality of it's probably not going to happen.
Yeah.
No, absolutely not.
Yeah, but at the same time, that's like someone saying like, dude, just it's like when those aircraft carriers come to like a stop in the middle of the ocean and they have those days where everyone goes swimming out in the middle of the ocean. Do you know what I'm talking about?
I do not know what you're talking about, but that sounds amazing.
It's a thing where apparently like submarines do it. Apparently they do it in the Navy, and they've been doing it forever, like since like World War II, where like they'll stop in like some tropical place, but not near land. They'll just, because it's like a moving island, they just stop and everyone can go swimming and it's whatever. People like jump off the deck and it's But to me, I look at it and I'm like, that's the middle of the ocean where there are sharks. There are seawater living dinosaurs that have not evolved since the T-Rex. And they are there. You are like a chicken nugget. And they are just, you are a bagel bite. And it is like, they're hungry. Most people, the vast, I want to say it's something like less than 50 people die a year from shark attacks.
Yeah.
But for me, I'm like, okay, cool, yeah. Statistics are on my side. I'm not getting in that water.
And how many times do you want to test the statistics?
Yeah, or it's not even that. It's just like, those statistics sound nice. But when you're standing there with no land for 360 degrees and you're just kind of treading water, and you look down and it just turns from like light blue to navy blue to black, and it's like, what's down there? Are you really going to comfort yourself to be like, well, statistics say that I'll actually... It's like, no. There is a kraken down there, and it's going to kill you, right? It's like what George Patton used to say to the soldiers before like they like a big battle in World War II. He'd be like, statistically, the vast majority of you will survive the next 24 hours. Okay. But, when there are like Nazi machine gun nests...
Granted, most people don't have that mentality. I could never join the army.
Yeah, me neither.
Yeah. Like, I don't know how people like do it. They're like, yes, this is what I want to do. I don't know how they do it.
They're men. You and I are not that.
It's just like, I don't want to increase the odds.
I don't want to go out hunting for pockets of this.
Yeah.
But the guys that do that, I've had on guys... fuck, you really were guest 15. Since then, I've had on guys that were in Delta Force. Ooh. They're just a different breed. I've learned that after talking to them. I'm like, oh, it's not that these guys have the balls to be like, I'm going to join the army. Talking to them and like looking them in the eyes, you realize there was never any other existence for them. These guys are, lions. It's like, dude, they were put on this planet to like destroy the enemy. They look at Cyberpunk 2077 or doing a podcast. They look at that as like a slow motion hell. They're like, that's nothing. Why are there not bullets whistling by my head? It's yeah. But I'm with you. I couldn't do it. I'm a bitch. Yeah. It's fuck no. Absolutely not. Has it helped you deal with 2020 differently? Because I think my family has kind of taken 2020 in stride. Because again, it's like after you lose a sibling or a son to suicide, it's like, and then you sit with that for 5 years. And then all of a sudden everyone's like, we have to wear masks. We can't go to the movie theaters. It's like, dude, I've been sitting awake in existential terror every night for the last half decade. Like, I don't give a fuck. Like, it doesn't bother me. Has that helped you kind of roll with the punches any better?
In terms of
just general stress.
Not. I actually don't think so. Sorry, could you repeat the question one more time? I'm trying to.
Sure. Okay, I'll try to make it a different example. A couple years after I lost my brother, I lost an uncle in the same manner, and I lost my grandmother to old age a year after that. It has helped me getting broken up with by a longtime girlfriend. Surviving my brother's trauma has helped me take those events a little more in stride. It's a little more like...
It's a little easier to get through. Yeah,
completely unrelated. None of them involved weapons, but just in general, it's been a little easier. It's been like, okay, like up until like before my brother, the toughest thing I ever did was like get my tonsils removed. And now it's like, man, if I had to get like fucking a leg amputated, it would be like, yeah, sure, let's do it, whatever, I'll survive. That's what I mean. 2020 is like, oh, 2020, COVID, riots. And it's like, sure, this is, it's definitely traumatic, but it's like, we'll get by. That's what I mean.
I was a hermit already, so 2020 hasn't really changed much.
Fuck yeah.
I guess I don't actually know if there haven't been too many situations like it since. I mean, so the first traumatic experience I had is one of my friends had their sister commit suicide.
Mm-hmm.
And then a year after that, then we got the shooting. Since then, my grandpa died, Alzheimer's. Although I wasn't super close to him.
Sure.
The reason we're heading out to Utah in a couple of days is because my grandma just got cancer. So I don't know. With those two, I think it might be a little easier since they are old and this was expected to come, and they've been able to live a life.
Yeah.
So I think that probably makes it easier. But I haven't. Well, luckily, I haven't had to go through any major other experiences like that, where having experienced it once has helped me get through it.
Well,
I don't know. It's actually like a good thing to think about, like if that ever does happen again.
Well, what I was going to say is what you just said is luckily I haven't gone through any like traumatic experiences since then. And what I would respectfully argue is you have, but they're not traumatic now. Like you have, if it wasn't like you have gone through those. If we're just really throwing a pity party for myself, after I lost my brother, like lost an uncle to suicide 3 years later, grandmother, put my dog down this May, girlfriend of 4 years dumped me, moved home with my parents, and, went from the number one party school in the nation to living, in my parents' house. One thing after another, after another, after another. And it all was like hell while it was happening. But I remember my therapist, she told me, she was like, the upside is, she was like, you've kind of got smooth sailing from here on out. Because she's like, I'm telling you, as like a 60-year-old woman, she was like, you kind of checked off all the boxes. She was like, you're pretty, she's like, short of like World War III, which, knock on wood, she was like, short of like World War III, she was like, what haven't you dealt with? You've taken it all on the chin. Like, you've done, she's like, it will still be tough, but it's sort of like, and I now think about that, where I'm like, what you said, I'm like, I'm kind of lucky, I haven't really had anything bad happen since my brother. But then I kind of think about it, I'm like, or have I? But it's not as bad, right? Playing Call of Duty, you go through it on expert or veteran or whatever it is, prestige, and then you go back one level and you only play it on medium. And you're like, oh, I'm so lucky that this game's easy. But people who have only ever played it on easy are looking at you going, what are you talking about, dude? Medium's hard. And you're like, oh, because I've been getting dome popped by these kids in South Korea on Xbox Live for so long that now anything short of just being killed 4 milliseconds into a match, you're like, it feels a little easier, right?
Art's grenade comes from across the
exactly. Ding, 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 and you're like, let's go, boom, headshot, and you're like, oh. So anything less than instant headshot from some kid going, I fucked your mom, and you're like, Jesus, why do I even play this game anymore? Versus if you come down from that all-star tier to just medium or even difficult, you might look at it and go, thank God I only got shot in the head every third match. Versus everyone else is like, they've never experienced that before. So when it does happen, they're traumatized. And you're like, dude, that was happening every single match, every single night. Like, does that make sense?
Yeah, it does.
Maybe not the best analogy. Using shot. Damn it. God damn it. I'm working. Work with me, Logan. Fuck.
No, that does actually make a lot of sense. Yeah. But I also am serious when I say nothing really eventful in my life has happened in the last year.
It's 2020, dude. That is factually incorrect. It's 2020. A lot of things have happened in everyone's life. And I think that's testament to what I'm saying is right. The fact that you're like, no, Tommy, nothing has happened. It's 2020. Everything has happened, Logan.
Shit, you're right.
Yeah,
okay.
That will be another $500, man.
Damn it.
Yeah, I'll have my secretary. No, I'll get you. Don't worry. You're an inpatient right now. We'll bill you through the insurance. It's okay. But yeah, it's I don't know. It seems pretty. I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, I guess it is like when I'm expecting that it's things on that level.
Mm-hmm.
But I guess what you're saying is true. Like going down a level doesn't seem like anything.
Exactly.
Gotcha.
It's like playing basketball in middle school. Or my dad would always tell me, he'd be like, stop like putting all your time into like playing in the church league. He'd be like, go to the AAU. And I'd be like, those kids are all a foot taller than me. They're all black. They can jump from the free throw line. I can't even touch the net. And he'd be like, good. And I'd go in there. Every shot would get blocked. I would get 0 rebounds. I'd foul out. I'd be like, throw up on the sideline because I was running too much. And then the next day I'd go back and play a church league game and I'd feel like Michael Jordan. I'd be like, I'm running circles around these idiots.
you know. God, yeah. That's okay.
This has been a show, Dr. Tom. It's a knockoff of Dr. Phil. And it's what you need to do, Logan, is you need to look inside at the pain, okay? Or we could turn this evangelical.
It's like, I am pregnant, and the baby is Jesus.
The baby was put into you by the Lord, and you will rise up, Logan. You will rise up. You will not let these demons bring you down. It was sulfur and brimstone.
Hello, evangelists.
Yeah. And we praise the Lord. We praise the Lord. Logan, I'm gonna go pee, and then I'm gonna come back, and let's break down Cyberpunk and Xbox Series X and PS5. We'll go on a lighter note. What?
I also need 1 second.
All right, everybody. We'll just fast forward 30 seconds.
I'm back. This is my podcast now.
It is not your podcast.
Oh, dang it, he's back.
Oh, shit. Run.
My plan to take it over has failed once again.
Failed. It's fuck. But yeah, so we'll move on to a lighter note. So I actually don't know shit about Cyberpunk 2077. Right now, I just finished playing Hitman 2. I played that for like a month. That was pretty dope. I don't know if you ever played that.
I have it. I just haven't installed it.
Dude, you should. It is.
I've heard.
Yeah.
Great things about it.
You're supposed to go in and like, you know, obviously you want to leave the smallest footprint. Change disguises. What?
But you don't have to.
No, and I'll tell you that's why it's good. Is you're supposed to go in and it's supposed to look like an accident. It's supposed to be a gas leak. You're supposed to like poison their whatever, like their champagne. I go in as soon as the game starts. I always put on a clown outfit, so I've got this big red afro, and I get the loudest gun, and I
just go.
And as soon as the level starts, I always start by just throwing a flashbang, so everyone knows I'm here, and then I just sweep through the map, killing everyone. So I actually kind of play it like golf, where the lower the score is better. Like, because if you even kill one civilian, it's impossible. Like best score is like 5 stars. If you kill one civilian, I don't think you can get better than like 2 stars.
Yeah.
So I try to kill like hundreds, and when I when I play it is I try to see how low I can get the score. So right now my record is on one map is negative 1.8 million. And that's how I play my own way.
Okay, so I'm your therapist now.
All right.
Do you think this is wrong?
No, I think it's training for the real world. Just gonna call.
Perfect. All right, that was it. That's actually gonna be about 1,000.
Gonna call. All right, so our debts are cleared. Just gonna call the FBI. Just leave a little message. Hey, you should check out this guy's podcast. His dude, I've been getting episodes flagged by YouTube lately, and yeah, because when I had on the Delta Force guys like 2 weeks ago, they're like, let's lead an armed insurrection to Washington, D.C. And I was like, fuck yeah. And YouTube took down that episode. But they haven't taken down the one where I had on a former Secret Service bomb squad guy, and he talked about what ingredients you need to get from Home Depot to make your own bombs. YouTube didn't take that down, so that's a head scratcher. But, dude, Hitman just like straight up, like as a game though, terms of like physics, sound design, smoothness of the play, just interactivity, like everything breaks. It's fucking amazing. I highly recommend playing it.
I don't know why I've held off on playing it.
Who cares? But yeah.
Oh.
Hitman, I've always loved the Just Cause series 3 and 4. I love Grand Theft Auto 4 and 5. Just Cause 3 and 4, GTA 4 and 5. I'm a fan of Ace Combat. Sniper Elite are good. But I haven't played Cyberpunk 2077, but I have been watching a lot of videos on YouTube, like an adult, of just gameplay. It looks sick, but apparently, like you said, it's like it wasn't finished cooking.
Yeah. Which, I mean, that could be a lot of reasons. That could be like investor pressure. I want to know the person who decided that April was going to be a good release date.
Yeah.
So the first release date was April, then they pushed it to September, then November, and then December.
And it's still not ready.
Yeah. I mean, well, if they delayed it again, that would be financial suicide.
Yeah.
I mean, releasing it also sort of was, but like their stocks already took a pretty large hit when they delayed to December, so delaying it again.
That might have had the same effect as I never played it, but do you remember No Man's Sky?
Yeah.
That was kind of like a real-time history lesson of like, don't hype it up too much, don't keep pushing it back, because then it just flopped.
Yeah. And I mean, that game did make a comeback. I think the difference is I don't think Cyberpunk is fundamentally broken. This is, I think, without a doubt, the best game I've played, and it's my favorite game.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
Because I like your favorite movie isn't your favorite movie because it has the best cast or the sound, or there's a few things that it does just really well. It just really, right? Like, I've also been playing Immortals Phoenix Rising, and that game has nothing bad in it, but it doesn't really have anything outstanding. It's all just like good.
So
kind of.
So for me, it's like great gameplay will always make up for like less than stellar graphics and physics. Like Just Cause 3,
Yeah.
not the best looking game, but goddamn if that isn't the most fun game. Just flying around in your gas wingsuit, just grappling shit, derailing trains. It will always make up for it.
And I don't think Cyberpunk has the best graphics. I will say it's one of the prettiest games I've played. Just like, I've never taken so many screenshots in my life. But I don't know what Ubisoft is doing, but these guys have some serious writing talent.
Really?
Like, I've never cried in a video game before, and I cried in a video game.
Really?
It got rough.
I got a little emotional playing Grand Theft Auto 5 the first time.
Really?
Yeah, it's like I took like a year or two and I was like speed running it, so now I've like beaten it into the ground. Like I can't really play it anymore. I'm like, I fucking know the whole story upside down and backwards. There's no surprises. I got like really attached to Trevor. Have you played Grand Theft Auto 5?
Not a lot of it.
Okay, well then I won't go into it. But yeah, it was Trevor at the end, like having to, like when you had like one of the options was like to kill Trevor. I didn't cry, but I was legitimately sad. I was like,
did you have, or like was it the, so it was like a character you liked, but there were other things that sort of made you think that was the best choice? Or?
No, I just did it because I wanted to like see what happened. There's like 3 choices.
Because that's the time that I ended up crying at Cyberpunk. It was like one of the endings, not the one that I chose initially, but I just wanted to go back.
Yeah, like a quick save.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh boy.
Yeah. Far Cry 5. Have you played any of the Far Cries?
I've not.
Far Cry 5. I got a little sad in that because it's like they produce like a plant called Bliss, and it's clearly supposed to be like heroin, and like they're in a cult and they take over this like section of Montana, and like they kidnap like one of like sheriffs or something, or the marshals, and they end up like kind of indoctrinating him, and he's just so like high, they leave him in this like constant state of bliss. The drug is called bliss, and there's like this cut scene where you're with him and you see him and he's like just talking to you, and you can just tell like all the pain is gone. He's like, I used to be like a yes man. I used to go kick down doors. I used to go, you know, arrest people because the man told me, but I never did anything I wanted. And he's like, and there's like butterflies going around, and he's like, I'm just at peace now. And like, then the good guys like recapture him, and they bring him back to their like hideout, and they're trying to like detox him from bliss. And it, like, you can't go through withdrawals too quickly, or it will like fuck you up forever. And so he's talking to like the therapist that like the good rebels have, and he's like trying to get him to like, you know, basically admit that like he has a problem, and he's like, we need to like put you through therapy or whatever. And he's finally like going, he's like, yeah, I agree with you. And then like when they have like a one-on-one session, he was like, I don't know why you took me out of the bliss, like something like I was finally free of pain. And then he had like a gun on his ankle. He like took it out and like shot the therapist, and then he was like, and he put it like under his chin, and he was like, finally, like no more pain, and like shot himself. Made me think of my brother, but I was also just like, that wasn't like oh no, the good guy died. It was like, here was a dude that was like working for like the FBI. He was like a door kicker, like, you know, had gone through the shit, like got kidnapped, and then like finally got to experience like pure like love, granted all artificial, but he got to experience like happiness. And then it gets ripped away from him, and like his only way to like deal with like not being in the bliss anymore is to kill himself. That really upset me. I was like, fuck. I might have teared up at that. I was like, fuck. Was
that Far Cry 5?
That was Far Cry 5. That is a great game.
Yeah, I've heard like the Far Cry series has.
Yeah. 4 is okay. 5, dude, talk about like a beautiful game. That's a game that you'll find yourself just stopping and looking around, and it's just like, oh, it's fantastic. It's also incredibly fucked up. Like, yeah, it's a fucked up game. Hitman bothered me a little bit, and I think it was only because I wasn't playing how I was supposed to play. It's because I was just going through and shooting everyone, and like I went up to shoot this like one guy, and he was like, please man, like I finally just fell in love for the first time.
Oh my god,
dude. He goes please, he goes, love is so nice, it's so pure, man. He was like, please, like let me experience love. I didn't shoot him. I just walked away, and I was like, fuck this game. I'm gonna go play Just Cause and just fly around in my gay ass wingsuit.
There was a moment where I quick saved beforehand, because this was just a really minor, like, it was like an unknown map marker. It was like a really minor side quest.
Yeah.
But there were I think it may have been just a full-on side quest, but there was our gig. Yeah, words. Okay. You had to, I don't remember the specifics, but you kind of had to like go there. Do you know what a brain dance is in this world?
Mm-hmm.
Basically, like, people can sort of record their experiences
in Cyberpunk,
watch it back.
Okay.
Get all the feelings, like everything. Like
Minority Report?
I don't think I've seen that.
That's too young for you. It's the future. You can go back and basically replay your, like, yeah, like you would, like looking at old photos on a phone. You can go back, smell, sounds, touch.
Because it's Cyberpunk, a lot of this is used for porn.
No, hey.
But there were some people, and I can't remember. I think they were. I'm appealing to like the torture side, where people would force people to report and then do that. But it was this father and this son who were kind of running this operation here. And I think you needed to get a specific one of those, like, to find out where they took one of these kids or something. I could be completely wrong on the details. So what I remember is when they're kind of like giving it to you and they got their hands up, you can shoot them. And they sort of decided that these are basically monsters for running this kind of thing.
Yeah.
So kind of did that. So, and by the way, when I say like father son, like the son is still like 30 years old.
Mm-hmm.
So this isn't like a small child.
Yeah.
But I shot one of them, and then the other one went over to his body and started crying over top of it.
Oh, fuck.
I'm like, oh no, what have I done?
Yeah.
What have I... Ooh. So I reloaded the save just to see all possible endings. This time I shot the other one, and then like the same thing happened. And I didn't know what to do, because these guys are terrible people. They're like the worst society to offer.
Dude, it's like you know Watchmen, the movie.
No.
No? Oh, great movie.
I haven't seen it, but I know of
the graphic novel is amazing. It's absolute by Alan Moore, absolutely amazing. But one guy goes in there and finds this guy that was like kidnapping and raping, like he was a child molester. And when he was finished with them, he would kill them, like feed the body to the dogs, and then he would like put like the remains in his like furnace to get rid of any evidence. And this guy goes and finds him, and he like kills both his dogs. And the guy's in his house like wondering how come the dogs aren't barking. And then like the dead bodies of the dogs come flying through the windows. And he was like, oh my god, it's like he's a monster, but he was still clearly attached to his puppers, right? And he was like, oh my god. And then the guy comes in there, Rorschach, and he like ties him to like his furnace, and he's like, the guy's like, please no. He's like calling out for his mom as Rorschach's like just like putting a meat cleaver into his skull. And it's like, here's a guy that is like the epitome of evil, like kidnapping, torturing, raping, and murdering little girls. But there's still part of you that's like, yeah, it preys on like your own human instinct, that it's like, dude, he's still suffering. It's I eventually I had to just remind myself of this game. I think I decided to just not kill them in the end. Yeah.
But like I didn't know what to do. It took me a while.
Yeah. That will happen in Hitman sometimes, where I'll just like, part of me is like, just shoot him. It's a video game. Like, don't get attached to it. But then part of me is like, what if in the infinite complexity of the universe that we know that we can't even wrap our heads around, what if somehow there is like consciousness in this video game? It's just like a blip, right? It's like an ant. Like you go to kill the ant and it's like, it doesn't even know. And it's like, but does it? Sometimes I'm just like, is this like someone's dream? Are they even here? Is it just a nightmare? And I'm like, and then I'll normally like kill him anyway, because I'll be like, no, I have to like shatter that possibility. But sometimes I'm like, dude, I just can't. Hitman gets weird about it, because we'll be like, dude, I'm like, it's like this old guy's a janitor. He's like, I'm the only one caring for my mother. She's in like an asylum. Like, I'm the only one that can pay the bills. And I'm like, fuck. I'm just trying to rob this goddamn bank. Like, or if like the special ops guys, you think that they're like the Delta Force guys. You're like, whatever. These guys are warriors. It's okay to kill them. I remember I sniped one of them. There were two guys on a roof, and I sniped one of them. And the other guy's going, he's like, Bill, oh my God. He's like, but they shot Bill. Oh, like, but his brains are all over me. And he's like, Bill. And I was just like,
what have I done?
yeah. I was like, fucking hell. It's, yeah.
Why did we play this stuff though?
I don't know, but you know why they did it? Because they knew what we would talk about it, and it's viral marketing. Because we are now marketing for them.
No, but like still, why
do we play it?
Like why do we view this stuff as like a good game? Like,
I think it's the absolute value of like emotion, and it's like math. But I look at it as like and I failed math a lot in college, but I do remember absolute values, right? Absolute value of 10. Positive 10, negative 10. The absolute value is 10.
Just like it makes you feel something and feel something.
It is an absolute value of emotion. Is it terror? Is it puppy love? Is it looking at your newborn child? Is it holding the dead body of your comrade?
Yeah, I think that's probably why we can like something like Cyberpunk and Hitman and Undertale and put them in the same category because
Yes.
I'm playing through Undertale with my sister.
Yeah.
Yeah.
A little fucked up.
Because I mean, she doesn't do a whole lot of gaming.
Yeah.
I got her to play some Stardew Valley, and now I'm watching her play Undertale, and that's a good time.
Yeah. It's.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's.
So.
What?
Trying to like, you have like a decent PC.
I have an Xbox.
Don't get it.
Don't get it?
No. Not on a base console.
Okay. Is that some normie shit?
Don't get it.
Okay.
So
fuck it. I'll just take your advice. I won't get it.
The biggest problem is this game was not ready on base consoles. Like PlayStation legit just took it off the store. It wasn't ready. Like, game, if you have a good PC, it's great.
Just primo.
If you have a base console, just don't.
Just shit.
Yeah. Are you planning on getting like the next generation console?
I don't know, because right now I have an Xbox One X, and it's
Xbox One X. Like, okay, I think it runs a little better on that, but still.
Xbox One X, which I got for free at the beginning of the pandemic. Like a week before quarantine started, I went and bought a used 360 from like 2005 because I was like, I think there's going to be a lockdown, and I was like, I want something to play, anything, even if it's just Call of Duty like 1. And I went and got it, and I bought it for like $40, and I got like the $1 warranty because this thing was just such a piece of shit. It was so old. When I turned it on, it sounded like a lawnmower. It was like, and it was hot. It like skipped. The games were like terrible. The controller didn't even really work well. Like RB didn't work, and I was like, I don't know what I expected. This is what I get for $40. And then naturally, within like 5 days, it kind of overheated one day and then just stopped turning on, like Red Ring of Death. And I was like, okay, well, and I went back to the GameStop, and because the shutdown, the quarantine shutdown was starting that evening, I was like, hey man, can I like get that? He was like, we don't have any like 360s. And I was like, well, when can I get one? And he was like, well, like the nation's like, there's going to be a federal lockdown. And so like all like shipping lines are stopping. And he's like, so I can't get you one. And I was like, fuck. And I was ready to leave, but he was like, but I have to like honor this like warranty. It's like store policy. Like if I don't have your thing, like that's on me. So you get like the next best thing. All they had
was an Xbox One X.
Were brand new 1 terabyte Xbox One X's. And he was finally just like, it's your lucky day. And I was like, no. So I've got this fucking hoss of a machine that I got for a $1 warranty.
That's pretty good.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I've heard like on the PS4 Pro and Xbox One X, the game does run better. Oh, maybe even playable.
Yeah.
If you could, I would say wait. But do you, like, this game right down your alley. Like, this game, best writing I've ever seen. Terrible AI.
Okay.
The AI is god awful, and they need to fix it.
That's part of the gameplay sometimes.
I mean, it's funny, but like just like if you just like shoot a gun up in the air, all the NPCs will either one run away or two just crouch down.
Yeah.
And if you're looking at them, you turn away and turn back, they're gone. They disappear.
That's shit.
When they're in error mode, if you look away from them, they despawn.
That's shit.
Yeah.
Dude.
So that part was rushed. If you like commit a crime, the police will just teleport right behind you, even if you're like on top of a roof.
Yeah. You can be in the middle of the forest and they're right there.
Yeah.
No, that shit sucks. Hitman's crazy because they don't remove anything from a level. So you kill 100 people, there's 100 bodies. You kill 300, there are 300. Like it's great in that aspect. Like you can destroy a level. You can break like everything. But yeah, I don't know. I'm tempted to get the Series X or the PS5, but
if you do, I think Cyberpunk's got a free upgrade coming out. Or I guess like you can upgrade to the next generation, but I know you can play the game on later consoles, but you're still using like the base console version of it.
Yeah.
And I think they've got like another one coming out in January that's actually optimized for the new consoles.
Yeah.
If you do get new ones, get Cyberpunk. Because you will love that game.
I might have to. Far Cry 6 is coming out next year, and I might grab that. I know that's out for pre-order. I'll probably fuck with Cyberpunk. Yeah, I probably will.
It's good. It's really good.
I'm probably gonna hold off on. Actually, I'll probably get Cyberpunk when I get the Series X. But I'm not getting the Series X yet because apparently that and the PS5 are like very clearly like not finished.
Seriously?
That's what I've heard from people. Some people say the games aren't finished, like like Cyberpunk, like they're not optimized yet. But some people are saying like the consoles themselves are buggy. Like they're just shit.
Really?
Like they're good because they're the next gen. What?
Is it a software issue or a hardware issue?
I don't know. I'm too stupid to understand that. But apparently people are like, this is very clearly like beta. Like it's...
No.
So I feel like, I don't know, maybe summer. Whenever they do like the next release.
Out of whack.
What?
Like nothing's... I don't think anything in like the gaming industry is launched in a good state during COVID.
Yeah, I don't think anything has worked well, period, with COVID. But yeah, I'm gonna wait until because there's the Xbox, there's Xbox One, the Xbox One S, and then the Xbox One X. I'll probably wait until they do whatever like the next thing, Xbox Series X S. I don't know. I have no idea. Who even knows if we'll have a country in 3 months? Pandemic might just ravage us. Maybe there's volcanoes or asteroids. Who knows?
Yellowstone finally erupts.
What?
Yellowstone finally erupts.
You know what? If that happened, that would be a fitting ending to 2020.
I'm in the ash blast radius, so
you'd be you're dead.
Yeah.
I would probably be dead within like a month from like absurd climate effects.
Yeah.
You'd be dead that day, I think.
I mean, like I don't think I'm in the initial blast radius, but I would get hit with like all the ash fall and debris.
I think you would be dead that day.
Yeah, probably.
I say that with love.
Not with a couple of days.
Well, if that does happen, I'm gonna have you come on for a podcast as like the ash is falling.
And it's like, well, it's been a great day.
Just have you talking as like ash is falling over your webcam. And I'll just be like, Logan, I know you're dying, but can you look at the camera and like give this podcast a shout out and like tell your friends to like, share, and subscribe? You'd be like, dude, my car has melted under the extreme heat. And I'll be like, I get that, and I can't relate to that. But Logan, all right, I'm fighting that there. Right?
Gotta get those views.
Gotta get this channel going up there, all right? We're live streaming. Let's get a like spike, guys. Smash that like button. Look, Logan can't breathe. TPC. A podcast is great. But say it clearly. Give it your A effort, Logan. Well,
I could just imagine, like the roof finally caves in, and it's like, God damn it, Logan, you took too long.
And I'll be like, some people, you think you can rely on someone. I don't even upload it. I'm just like, that's some bullshit. That's some fucking bullshit. Well, Logan, let's wrap this bitch up. And apparently I can't have you on without just going into the depths of darkness. You know, I'd like to pass the buck and be like, you bring that out of me, but I'm going to own it. That's me. But yeah, I guess when you come on, I'm just like, that's what we're doing.
We're normal people, right?
What?
We're normal people.
We're normal people. Everyone's as fucked up as us. It's
okay.
You and I are just showing it. You and I are showing what everyone jokes about with their friends when the camera's off. That's what I try to always think about.
Hopefully.
Or that's just my own justification for being a bad person. I'm like, everyone jokes about shootings.
He's an uncle who's just like, I'm just saying what everyone's thinking, me.
Oh, yeah, the drunk uncle. It's like, someone has to say it. And it's like, don't say it. Don't say it, uncle. I have black friends. And they're like, I'm just saying. You're like, don't. I'm just saying this virus came from, and you're like, okay, let's someone needed to say it. You know what? I just say it like it is. And it's like, you're just a racist and an alcoholic is what you are. You're not saying it what it is. That same excuse would be like Hitler would be like, I'm just saying what everyone's thinking. Like, okay? I'm just saying, like, we all know the Juden is a problem. Well, this channel is going to get yanked any day now. So, for anyone listening, go subscribe on BitChute and Rumble.
Demonetized, yeah.
Oh no, this channel is
it's just deleted.
Oh, I legitimately give it a couple months before they yeet me. So everyone listening, go subscribe on BitChute and Rumble. That will be in the description and stick it in the top comment. And thanks again, Logan. You're a boss, dude. Thanks for coming on. And don't be a stranger. Let's definitely do another one, and we'll just spiral into the depths of depravity and darkness and.
Here's to hoping that we are saying what everyone's thinking.
I'm gonna be like, I'm just saying. People are gonna be like, I unsubscribed from your channel and I called the police. You are not saying what everyone's thinking. Your friends are gonna be like, Logan, what the fuck is wrong with you? Like, no, Logan, what is wrong with? Don't walk away. Don't try to laugh this off. You're gonna be like, it was a podcast. We're just joking. And they're like, no. Yellowstone. What's gonna happen is Yellowstone is gonna go off. And this is going to be like
fucking Logan.
This will be the equivalent of like us making like 9/11 or like Twin Tower jokes like before 9/11 happened. It's just going to be like, whoa.
Yeah.
Well, on that note, everybody stay safe. Happy New Year's and Happy New Year's, everybody.
Be positive.
Stay positive. And yeah. Logan and I, we advocate for the vaccine of trauma to help you against future traumas. Fuck the COVID vaccine. Just get real soft. I'm just stretching this podcast out. Let's end this bitch, Logan. I'll text you, all right, man?
$99.99. You can get the trauma vaccine.
You get the trauma vaccine, or you can come to Tommy's podcast for therapy sessions. Logan is my physician's assistant. $500 an hour, pretty reasonable price. I mean, look at Logan. He was crazy before he met me, and now he is an adjusted individual.
Right. Yeah.
All right, man.
Pause for comedic effect. Yeah, all right.
Pause for comedic. All right, buddy. I'll see you, man. And Happy New Year's.
Yeah, Happy New Year's.
All right, buddy. Peace.